Yep. All right, here we go.
In 1966, two guys named Bob and Billy Henry bought a small campground in Texas. They turned it into a big resort called Schlitterbahn, known for its awesome water slides. The family worked hard and even built a water park in Kansas. Things were going well, but then they made a really tall and fast slide called Verrückt, which ran into lots of problems. Sadly, a kid lost his life on that slide, and the park faced serious trouble. Despite all the success, Schlitterbahn eventually closed down, and the family had to deal with legal issues. It's a story of fun turning into tragedy, showing that sometimes big dreams come with big challenges. Today we delve into the story behind Verrückt, the towering water slide, and the challenges that led to a profound loss. The story starts with Bob and Billy Henry buying a Camplander, a 13-acre campground in New Braunfels, Texas. Over the next decade, they transformed it into Lander Resort, a 40-acre riverside resort with various entertainment options. The family noticed the popularity of the river among visitors, leading them to venture into water park development. In 1977, inspired by water parks in Florida, the Henrys decided to create their own at Lander Resort. They named it Schlitterbahn, a made-up German word meaning slippery and rude. Construction began in 1979 on the first slide, and soon the park expanded with more slides, a tower, a barbecue restaurant, and an arcade. Schlitterbahn quickly gained popularity, attracting over 250,000 visitors in 1980. The family, including Gary, Jana, and Jeff Henry, actively managed the park. In 1989, Bob and Billy retired, passing the business to their 3 children. Over the next 2 decades, Schlitterbahn expanded, acquiring nearby resorts and land. The park became known for its family-friendly atmosphere, allowing visitors to bring their own food. Jeff Henry, known for creating daring slides, established NBGS International Inc. in 1984, growing it into a company that designed rides for major amusement parks. Despite his unconventional approach and legal troubles, Jeff's creativity contributed to Schlitterbahn's success. In 2000, they broke ground on a second park in Texas, adopting a Brazilian beach theme. Managed by Jeff, this $13 million water park opened in 2001. Despite the initial success, challenges arose, including legal issues and controversies. Schlitterbahn's story reflects a mix of innovation, family involvement, and the struggles faced by a water park that started with big dreams but encountered difficulties along the way. In the opening year, around 200,000 people attended Schlitterbahn Vacation Village in Kansas, maintaining the friendly family atmosphere from the original park. The company continued its success with a third park in Galveston, Texas, leading to constant growth. Plans for the first Schlitterbahn outside of Texas were set in motion in Wyandotte County, Kansas, across from Interstate 435. The planned 300-acre Schlitterbahn Vacation Village, 3 times larger than the company's other parks, was announced in October 2005. It aimed to be a comprehensive destination resort with indoor and outdoor sections, rivers connecting to hotels, treehouse accommodations, a casino, multiple restaurants, a covered riverwalk, and a marine life section. Local officials anticipated significant economic impact, predicting 3,000 new jobs and an annual payroll of about $90 million. Schlitterbahn agreed to purchase Star bonds, ensuring the resort's reality and relying on sales tax revenue for bond repayment. This venture promised more than just a water park. It aimed to be a complete destination resort. Construction was scheduled to begin in 2007, with a planned opening in 2008. During the groundbreaking celebration, it was announced that an X-Town development company would partner with Schlitterbahn, bringing in retailers like House of Blues and Ron John. Despite delays in the project, the water park was intended to open in 2009. However, as the opening date approached, challenges arose. The recession impacted the mega site's plans, including the construction of the water park. Just before the scheduled opening in mid-2009, the construction manager for the entire resort left, requiring Schlitterbahn to take over fully. This led to doubts about whether the troubled park would ever open, with billboards expressing dissatisfaction appearing in the area. Schlitterbahn Vacation Village finally welcomed its first guests in a soft opening during July 2009. Around 50 people paid $20 each for a sneak peek of the finished water park. The company insisted on a grand opening later in the summer, but only 8 of the planned 13 attractions were up and running initially. Within a year, Schlitterbahn deemed the venture a success, announcing plans to open more parks. The Kansas City park faced challenges and did not fully realize its original plans, but it opened for its first full summer season in 2010, marking the beginning of Schlitterbahn's presence outside of Texas. In the beginning, things didn't start well for the water park. There were many delays, colder temperatures than usual, and local construction crews were not hired, causing some anger. In 2010, the park didn't have anything new, but they were gearing up for a new phase of construction, including a retail area called the Riverwalk. Despite the economic challenges, Schlitterbahn invested $180 million in the project using private funds. The original plan for the whole resort, funded by bonds, didn't happen, and they were still working on the surrounding resort area. They hoped it would open in 2012, but due to the economic situation, the project faced delays. Some features, like a river for guests to ride and other expansions, had to be cut. The park opened in 2011 and 2012 with new rides, but the full expansion didn't materialize. In 2012, a newspaper reported a major development. A colossal waterslide was coming to Kansas. It was called the world's tallest, fastest, and most extreme waterslide ever built. It was a Mega Blaster speed slide, and details about it were kept secret. The idea for the slide came spontaneously from Jeff Henry and his designer John Shirley, who sketched out plans for the unique slide after a trade show. The park had not initially planned to build such a slide, but the hype around it was high. The water park, which had faced challenges in its early years, was now gaining attention with the promise of an extraordinary water slide. Jeff Henry, the park's creator, generated media interest by dubbing the upcoming attraction the most terrifying ride ever built in a water park. Despite this claim, he emphasized the importance of safety and committed to a thorough testing period. Henry referred to the new ride as a game changer for the industry, highlighting its uniqueness. Like previous slides at the park, the design process relied on trial and error, as there was no established model to follow. Jeff Henry and his designer, John Shirley, lacked formal education in engineering but had successfully sold their designs to major amusement companies worldwide. Facing a tight deadline for a TV show called Lumen, they swiftly moved through the design process. After creating a model, they constructed a nearly 90-foot-tall, $200,000 test slide in a mud field near the park's Texas headquarters. The testing phase, documented for the TV show, revealed flaws in the design from the start. Jeff Henry later admitted that footage shown on the Travel Channel was exaggerated for dramatic effect, including fake rust flying into the air. The original 60-degree drop on the test slide was adjusted due to issues with rafts launching into the air at the bottom of the drop, especially with heavier weights. Despite the challenges, the half-size test was deemed a success, and Jeff Henry headed back to Kansas to build the full-sized version of the slide, named Verrückt, meaning insane in German. Construction involved custom fiberglass pieces, 40,000 pounds of steel for a 16-story tower with 264 steps, and repurposed giant freight train tankers. In April 2014, the waterslide called Verrückt was measured by Guinness World Records and officially revealed to be 168 feet tall, breaking the world record. It surpassed Jeff Henry's previous tallest slide, now back on American soil. However, troubles persisted as the opening, initially set for May, was delayed multiple times due to issues with the slide. Behind the scenes, the slide faced difficulties during testing. Rumors circulated that rafts were flying into the air, prompting secret nighttime testing to hide problems. The completed slide had to be redesigned after forces were too high, causing potential safety concerns. The opening date was postponed and media days were canceled. A rebuild, costing nearly $1 million, included changes to the slide's shape and features. Despite these efforts, the slide continued to face challenges, with testing taking place at night to conceal issues. Nets were added to address safety concerns, and the slide underwent various modifications to make it work. After months of setbacks, Verrückt, as it was officially named, finally opened to the public in July 2014. Safety concerns persisted, with a safety consultant expressing worries about rafts going airborne. Initially, an age limit was recommended, but it was dropped just before opening, and only a height requirement of 54 inches was enforced. The ride operated publicly for about 4 months each season, receiving positive reviews and winning awards. However, behind the scenes, there were ongoing issues, including documented injuries ranging from concussions to broken toes. Rafts continued to go airborne, and incidents were kept secret, with reports altered or destroyed. The ride's maintenance fell behind, and parts of the slide showed signs of rust and failure. Tragedy struck less than 2 months after the public opening when a child lost their life on the Waterslide. The park closed, and an investigation began. The incident brought to light the hidden issues with the slide, raising concerns about safety and the park's handling of incidents. On August 7, 2016, a tragic incident occurred at the Verrückt Waterslide. Caleb Schwab, a 10-year-old boy and the son of a Kansas state representative, lost his life while riding the slide. His raft went airborne on a hill and collided with the net, resulting in a terrible accident. The 2 other riders were also seriously injured. The park was immediately closed for investigation, but reopened 3 days later, with Verrückt and 4 other slides closed for not meeting safety standards. After multiple delays, the park faced legal consequences in 2018 when a grand jury issued indictments. The charges included involuntary manslaughter and interference with law enforcement against the park's director of operations and Schlitterbahn. The investigation revealed that daily reports containing incriminating information had been withheld by the director of operations. Lifeguards were forced to hide the slide's troubles, and evidence suggested that other rafts had previously gone airborne. The park settled with the family of the boy for around $20 million. Experts in ride design and safety found that Verrückt violated industry safety standards, and that fundamental steps in the design process were rushed. Emails indicated that Jeff Henry, the park's creator, was responsible for the rushed timeline. The rush affected quality control, and the design process relied on trial and error rather than mathematical calculations. The indictment highlighted Henry's disregard for industry standards and the fact that the safety of the attraction was signed off by its designers themselves. The self-inspection system for water parks in Kansas was criticized, leading to changes in the law to require regular state inspections. The demolition of Verrückt was approved in July 2018 and began in November after the park closed for the season. Schlitterbahn, Kansas closed for good in 2018, marking the end of the family-run business. 2 Texas parks were sold to Cedar Fair in 2019, while the park in Kansas City was retained by the Henry family and rebranded as Beach Park. The Extreme Water Parks episode, presented as factual instead of fictional entertainment, led to the dismissal. Jeff Henry never returned to Schlitterbahn. In 2022, Jeff Henry received a 36-month probation sentence for possessing large amounts of meth during a 2018 incident. Reports in 2007 and 2013 also surfaced regarding his drug use. In 2021, after a court hearing, records revealed his involvement in criminal activity related to drugs and human trafficking. Caleb's death profoundly impacted Jeff Henry, who entered a depression and checked into a mental health clinic. Despite the tragic events, Schlitterbahn, Kansas City was demolished in 2021 after 3 years of abandonment. The family-run park, known for providing fun and joy, came to an end. The Texas tradition was over, marking a tragic chapter for everyone involved, especially the young boy who lost his life. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel for more such videos. We'll see you next time.